In your business, are you struggling to progress to the next level? And do you feel like every day is a never-ending battle? As a business owner, this could be the feeling that your company has stagnated for the last few years and just does not feel like it is growing. Do you feel like you are stuck in a rut and don't know how to move on? Well, I hope it gives you some comfort that you're not alone. I have worked with hundreds of business owners over the last year and have noticed the recurring pattern of the problems and issues that are holding back those businesses and creating unnecessary roadblocks to growth. I'm afraid to say that it is all down to this: our own mindset and some misguided common beliefs that we're all taught at a young age as we go through school, that we need to become the perfect employee. And it's this employee mindset that is holding you back. So in this video, we're going to run through the common mistakes that most small business owners are making and what actions and changes you can start making today. Yes, today, now, which will get you out of that employee mindset and evolve you into the wealthy entrepreneur that is in your potential. This is going to upgrade your business and allow you to create wealth for yourself and your family, getting you on board your journey of growth with the final destination being the wealth creation station. Now, let's get into this. Welcome friend, I'm Bradley, an entrepreneur who helps businesses that are turning over just over £1 million or just under £1 million become £10 million wealth creation machines. What I found through working with so many business owners, 100 plus last year, which of these progress to become entrepreneurs and which remain stuck as employees in their own business. For us to level up our businesses and improve our working lives, it all comes down to the mindset and erasing all the wrong, misguided things that we've been taught about work and how we should be managing our time. My experience is that most people either don't want to change or they're unable to accept what we're going to run through today because it just goes against completely the grain of what they've been taught and all that they have known to date. And a good example of this is a close friend of mine who approached me a couple of months ago and asked me, Bradley, you've been very successful with working with businesses and you've had a very successful career. I'd love you to help me with my business. I was kind of like, yeah, perfect. You know, you're a good friend of mine, so I want to see you succeed and help you grow your business as well. So we sat down and we run through all the kind of bits and pieces, how his business operates, what he does day to day. And I could see straight away what the problem was. And that my friend was running his business as if the business was his employer and he was an employee. So he was more focused on being a bum on a seat every day, during his 9 to 5, and he had to be in control of everything. He had to do everything. And even though the company and some of the projects weren't necessarily making money, it was this belief that as long as I'm turning up and performing, then we're going to make money. And you know, it's just kind of not looking at the right things. You know, it's more focused on doing rather than actually having an entrepreneurial mindset and actually really looking at the stats and understanding, is this making money and should we be carrying on with this? So after spending a bit of time with my friend and explained to him that he just completely needs to change his whole approach on how he runs his business, and he needs to learn to delegate and to bring some people on to supplement some of the work he's doing, and that's going to enable him to have some free time to grow things. He just really didn't understand it and just couldn't understand the concepts of what I was teaching him. So my experience with my friend, as well as the other small business owners I work with, has taught me that there's kind of 3 common misconceptions that most small business owners have, and it avoids them from becoming entrepreneurs. It keeps them in that employee mindset. And those 3 points are mainly keeping busy and working, no one else can do the job as me, and we cannot change. So let's address the first point, that keeping busy is all that matters and working hard is the thing that's really going to make us money. This is what we're taught as an employee, is that, you know, we have to turn up to work every day, we have to be at the office between the hours of 9 to 5, we have to just show up and be there. Doesn't matter whether we're being productive or not, it's just a case of showing up and being there. And unfortunately, this is the mistake that a lot of small business owners make, is that they just kind of find themselves finding things to do, just turning up to places, completely wasting time, just because it's almost like we have to show up and prove that we're there, prove to themselves that they're doing something important. Whereas really, what we should be looking at is how should we most effectively be spending our time. And if our time is being spent on these kind of more mundane tasks, then this is where we should really be looking to outsource this, or even to delegate to kind of more junior staff. If it's something as simple as like opening the post or sending a few emails, then this is something that shouldn't really be taking up a business owner's time. The business owner should be focused on how can we grow the company, how can we develop our business, what systems and processes can we put in place that's going to help us build the foundations for us to be able to scale. And of course, are we making money? Are we making profit? And it's so important that this is the main focus for small business owners. Really get a grasp of the numbers and understand, is everything you're doing aiming towards the point of making a profit? I remember there was this one client I was working with who just did not really have too much information on their finances, and they'd kind of wait to the end of the year once their accountant had put together some information for them to know whether they're making a profit or loss, or how they're performing. And when we kind of looked into the numbers in more detail, we could see that there were some projects where they was making quite a significant loss. And I think what really hit home to my client was that once we went through the numbers in detail and saw that a couple of projects had lost about £50,000, and I kind of said to him, look, once your client approached you and asked you to tender these works, at that point it would have been cheaper for you to write a cheque for £5,000 and say, I'm really sorry, I can't do this work, here's £5,000. Because that £5,000 loss would have been a lot less than the £50,000 that was incurred by actually doing the work. And the problem is that a lot of small business owners end up just being a busy fool. As an entrepreneur, you really need to be making the most of your time. Don't just go around and do things to keep you busy. Really think about how to maximise your time. Time is the most valuable asset we all have. So really got to make sure that on a day-to-day basis we're spending it as wisely as possible. And every kind of activity should be looking at growing the company, developing the company, looking at new revenue streams, looking at how we can further market the business, and not focusing on really sort of boring, mundane admin tasks. And as a business owner, I think it's very important to be selective about the clients that you work with. We don't want to be working with clients that are demanding, that don't pay on time, that are missing appointments, that are just constantly phoning us and causing us problems. Because we spoke about time earlier, and time is one of those commodities where we've got a very limited amount, not only in our lifetimes, but also on a day-to-day basis. So we really want to make sure that we aren't spending that time with a client on a 1 hour Zoom call or a 2 hour Zoom call just to run through things that really are insignificant, and that the client's just being over demanding and just trying to get as much of your time as possible. So the second point, no one can do the job as good as me, is another one of those employee mindsets that we really need to get out of as a business owner that's trying to develop into an entrepreneur. And the reason why we have this is because when we're an employee working for a company, we're continuously feeling that we're under threat, because when new people join, we get worried that they're going to be better than us and we might get phased out. All these things just going through our minds as employees. So we tell ourselves that we're good and we make ourselves really good at those jobs so that we can be seen as the expert and someone that the business values and will be around for a while. But as an entrepreneur, we need to understand that for us to be able to grow our businesses and for it to scale, then we need to be able to delegate. So it does mean that yes, we are going to employ people that probably aren't as good as we are, but we need to be able to give them the chance, and we need to be able to have that trust to be able to delegate and to give them some of the tasks and activities that they can perform that's going to allow us to free up our time. And this leads us on to another point then, that we want the job to be done perfect, and in our minds, if we was doing the job, we'd make sure that we'd be checking this and doing this and it would all be perfect. If we hand it over to someone else to do, they're not going to have that same perfectionism instilled in them to do that activity. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, sometimes it's just better to get the job done rather than for it to be perfect. We can spend so much time getting wrapped up on making sure that everything is 100% perfect, when actually we just need someone there doing the job. Over time, once they're doing the job day in and day out, they'll naturally become brilliant at that job and they'll be able to do it with their eyes closed. So we just really need to be able to, again, learn to trust these people, hand them over these tasks, and that's just going to free up all of our time then to be able to focus on the most important things in our business. One of the other issues I've seen with business owners as well is that they don't like to give over control to someone for all the reasons we spoke about just now. And it really is, again, just let go of that control and just trust in your staff. Learn to delegate, and once you kind of master that skill set, that gives you the skill set of being a leader, and that's exactly what would start now transforming you into an entrepreneur. Point 3, having an open mind. The need to kind of learn, evolve and continuously adapt is something that's really going to help you become that entrepreneur. Personal development and growth is so important, and for you to continue to grow your business and for you to continue to learn new skill sets, it's only going to add so much value to your business. Through personal development, look at courses that will complement kind of the work you do, or if there's a certain skill set that you feel you need training on, make sure you get on those courses straight away and start developing this skill set. And all we want to do is just keep adding to our toolkit. Every course, every book, every new skill we learn is just going to continue to evolve our entrepreneur mindset and help us grow our business and create wealth. in that business. Part of having an open mind is, as we said earlier, is to get the teams in. So invest in the teams, invest in our systems, and invest in yourself. So as business owners, we can often get stuck in an employee mindset, which holds us back from reaching the next level. Our own misguided beliefs and busy work-focused approach are among the common factors that prevent our growth. To break out of this cycle, we need to change our mindset to an entrepreneurial one and be open to learning and evolving and investing in our teams, systems and ourselves. And by doing this, we can move on from being an employee in our own business to becoming an entrepreneur. And this will allow us to continue our journey of growth, with the final destination being the wealth creation station. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to this channel. If you enjoyed this video today, then check out this one here, which goes into more detail with some of the stuff we've touched on today, as well as helping you to become a key person of influence within your sector. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.